Alright, I'm recording this as like a video log. At about 2 p.m. yesterday, I finally pulled the trigger on buying a very large, pretty expensive for me, delivery van, a 2016 Ford Transit with about 90,000 miles on it. The sales price was roughly $27,000 with the warranty and a 5-year loan on that vehicle. It's going to cost me about $500 a month to pay for it, and my ambition is to use that as a mobile office as I travel around the country visiting family, friends, and academics, hopefully colleagues, collaborators, and institutions as I complete my final year in a PhD dissertation in sociology here at Cornell University. I have to say, today it feels absolutely crazy that I did that. I'm having the ultimate buyer's remorse, thinking how stupid I am for making this decision, but then also, how am I going to make the best of this? You know, once I signed the dotted line, that's sort of a commitment, at least to giving it a try. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to add solar power and large battery packs, along with a desktop computer workstation and somewhat comfortable bed. I'm mostly focused on the workspace and making it a productive office, which I will take south through the Midwest, through the Virginias, down to Florida, then across the southern United States to California and up to Portland, etc., and back across. So I'll do one loop in 1 year. It's June 2021 right now, and I'm in Ithaca, New York. I plan to be back here in Ithaca, New York in a year with a lot more memories, probably, well, hopefully a lot more endurance, and with a dissertation completed. So it is ambitious, it's crazy, which is why I like it, and I'm excited about it, and I'm hoping it can motivate me. The room I'm in right now should be a really awesome workspace. Right now it's a mess, and I have gotten some work done in here, but I think re-envisioning what work looks like really helps me to get excited about the work itself. Building those tools sort of re-engages the experience of the work itself, and I know that sounds sort of evasive, but for me it's true. Now, one thing I should get on the record now is just how anxious I am now. How many of the voices of concern, which I saw as dismissive or maybe not considering my full potential in this endeavor, now are ringing through my head. And I woke up at 4:30 this morning in a sweat, thinking, oh, I made a mistake, a big mistake. So I'm at least going to spend my time, energy, effort, at least my spare time, in trying to prove those voices wrong for myself and for others. And I'll take this camera with me on my journey so you can see what that looks like. Alright, so I have to say, this thing just looks gigantic to me. It feels crazy to drive. When they gave me the keys, I thought, yeah, they were crazy. Shouldn't be giving anything of this size and power to a little old boy like me. Yeah, I just moved this so I wouldn't get a parking ticket, which is going to be the story of my life, I can imagine. I hope it's something I can avoid. But I also want to say this thing is a beast to maneuver. I just had to get through some construction, and it was so tight. This thing is wider than a normal car, which means that in some places, I'm really going to have to squeeze through, or people are going to have to move out of my way in order for me to get where I need to go, which is something, I had thought about, but it's a completely different thing feeling it. So anyways, that's it for day one. For me, I'm gonna grab my bike and go to school. This isn't yet an office, so I need to get to work for the day. It's day 2 of owning a van, and I've already gotten a parking ticket this morning. I'm starting to get obsessive about the whole thing. I mapped out my entire journey around the United States, basically starting with all of the friends I think would possibly want to host me, and then going to weather reports. And it seems consistent enough. I've started thinking along the lines of like, how can I get into the van, sleeping, eating, and working as quickly as possible. So I found an old cot that I have, and I'm thinking about how to get power in there. Also, I've found a couple free large desks that I'm just going to throw in one of them in there, and that should give me some idea of what it's like to work in there. I'm really excited to sleep in there for the first time tonight, and generally just obsessive. You know, at this point it is definitely not an increase in productivity for me. It's taking up all my time just thinking about it. All my free time, quote unquote free time, which I really should be devoting towards the dissertation. I'm thinking about like what could this be and how do I build it, which is bad. It's too much. But I think this is sort of a honeymoon phase. If this van is my baby, then maybe this is a few days of maternity leave, let's call it. Anyways, I'm feeling so much more comfortable than I was yesterday, and I actually think talking with you, the camera lens, helps me with that, so thank you, microphone, for listening. I don't know if I'm talking to you or to you beyond the camera. Okay, so long. That's my current office setup. Really simple. Some water, trash bag, and just taking notes about what I'm going to do. My next step is to get these papers up onto the walls, and for that, as it's demonstrated right now, for that I'm at Jo-Ann Fabrics. Alright, so I got some string, which I'm going to hang up along the wall, and some Velcro, but Jo-Ann Fabrics didn't have the binder clips, so. Now I'm at Dollar Tree. Okay, things are simplifying a little bit, so I have some Velcro to keep these from moving, even though actually just throwing this blanket over everything on this table keeps it from sliding around. Here's the string system, which is just for keeping some papers up, and I found these magnetic whiteboards and some organizational stuff. So, doesn't look like much, but she's growing. And look on the ceilings too, these whiteboards. Maybe you can see I've got a desk, a monitor. This is actually a touchscreen, and a desktop computer all plugged in. It was a little bit nerve-wracking driving this back here, but nothing really moved. I'm obviously going to have to secure everything once I'm totally done, and this isn't even the desk I'm going to use. This is just sort of to play around with it, see how it feels. I still need a chair, but this should be good. And I think this is the orientation I want. And here you can see a lot better what's going on. So I can see out the back, I can see out the side. I've got a lot of like window access. and also just seems like a lot of space. So all I need is a seat, and I'll work today in this workspace as long as I can get connected to internet. Alright, I got some packages, and Mitsuko told me to do an unboxing, so I'll do that. Don't even remember what these are. They kind of are coming in a little order. What is this? Magnetic screen door. Okay, let's check it out. I just hope they didn't scam me. Oh, I like the bag. I like that they have a bag that I can actually use thumbtacks. Some Velcro. And magnetic screen door. Okay, hopefully it's not just one side. I feel like that's my biggest worry here, and it looks like, yeah, it's two sides. Yeah, plenty big. That's gonna be great. What's next? Oh yeah, some floor glue. My floorboards were coming apart, so I need a specific tongue and groove yeah, it looks like I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to get inside, I'm just going to do it on the surface, so hopefully that's enough. We'll see. So that's all very exciting. I'll install that stuff today. I hope it's, yes, lithium-ion battery. Solar generated. Okay. Some friendly messages on the outside of this thing. So we have a car charger point, but it's only that long. That sucks. A charging cable for USB-C, which is also only like 2 feet long. Here's the wall charger, which seems to have some length to it, and object itself. Oh, there's another. Oh, wait, what? What is going on here? This is actually just an adapter for something? I don't know. So the car charger port is actually a bit longer. I mean, still, it's annoying. It's gonna have to sit in my front seat while it charges. The battery pack itself is super compact. So this thing has about 300 watt hours, which means it could charge my entire desktop setup for 3 hours, hypothetically. But more practically, it will charge my phone like 90 times, charge my laptop like 30 times, so that's pretty great. And they'll send me a $50 gift card if I write a product review on Amazon, so I will absolutely be doing that, along with a 24-month warranty. Well, I'm already enamored with this. It has like a smell to it. It's this strap, I think. It's got these like sticky pads on the bottom, so at least it'll stay still in my van, which is, I mean, small, but really useful. And this last package, I have no idea what it could be. It's gigantic. Let's check it out. Soft. What is this? Oh. This is definitely useful. reflector pad. This is for the screen of my Ford Transit in the windshield. Absolutely crucial. How does this stay in? It just tucks. Okay, well, all in all, really exciting developments. I'll have more tomorrow. I'll have more the next day. At some point, I'm going to buy a multi-$1,000 battery system, so that's going to be exciting. And I guess the roof rack for the what is it called again? Gosh. Ford Transit. Yeah. All right, that's it for the unboxing today. Okay, this is a good time to do sort of a download. I'm at Sunset Park. I'll show you the view in a second. It's absolutely stunning what I can see out of my office window, I guess. And as I was pulling up, I was thinking how academics... Here's the view out of my van window. I don't know if you can tell, but that is Cayuga Lake. View towards the front of my van, some of my books. I've almost succeeded at bringing my entire library into this van, along with all the food I need and a lot of my electronics. And yeah, I mean, this is coming together better than I could have imagined. I definitely resonate with what other van dweller people were saying. It's just like, take the jump and it'll be worth it. It's definitely been worth it so far. Hello, it's another Monday. I've done so much work this weekend. I basically took out all of the floorboards and glued them as I put them back in because they were separating. I installed this super heavy duty desk, and the filing cabinets were sort of shifting around and really scaring me, so I added these strips of flooring that are just like lips, which hold it in place. So I'll show you a video of it. And now it's Sunday afternoon. I've got my battery sort of running my laptop and monitor, and it's just phenomenal. I'm here in the Arboretum? I don't remember what it's called, but it's a tree sanctuary in Cornell. And it's just a beautiful day. Lots of people riding their bikes, and yeah. So the audio is probably going to be pretty bad here. I'm next to a road. Just a really beautiful spot right outside of Cornell's campus. I guess I can download a little bit. I got a coffee maker and I plugged it into my battery unit, forgetting that my battery unit has a max of like 100 watts or something, and coffee makers take a lot of power, at least in a short burst, like maybe 1,000 watts. So it shorted, or I mean it didn't short, it like tripped the breaker or something. And I thought the battery was just gone, so it was like $250 out the window. That was pretty stressful, but I plugged it into the wall, and I guess that resets the battery, so that's good. They at least have some fail-safe. Makes a lot of sense that they would have that. But for a moment there, I thought I had just, trashed the thing. Another interesting development, and sort of sad, is I can't bring this thing into parking garages, or at least the local parking garage, which I thought was going to be just an amazing place to work, because you can park and have a really nice view, especially off the top of that, top of the parking garage, and they have them everywhere. It's rather cheap. It also would be cool in the summer because of the concrete, and sort of protected from the elements, but it's too tall. So I was pulling into the parking garage, and the thing raised up, pulled in, and realized that it was too tall, and the thing closed behind me. So I had to wait for some nice bystander to come and pull up behind me and raise the thing up, and we both backed out together. So that was fun and sort of a maneuverability test. It was a really tight, sort of curvy lane that I had to back up through. So it's pretty exciting, and still no marks on the cab itself. The stabilizers that I installed for the cabinets are working wonders. It's so much more stable. The whole thing is not moving around at all. This desk is actually tied to the D-hooks with just a little bit of very thin rope, and that's held perfectly. So I actually don't need much to hold this thing in place, even though it is quite slippery relative to my waxed floors. In general, just really still loving the office, finding it to be a really productive space to work and think, and I'm using a lot of data for the first time also. So I'm at 3.5 gigs I think for the month, and the month started 4 days ago. So I'm gonna hit the 6 gigabyte unlimited, the beginning of Google Fi's unlimited data, and it'll start throttling me. So that's when I'll find out whether throttling is a real problem for me, or if it's still enough data for me to work productively, to do Zoom. If it is, this is a great setup because Google Fi is also international, so I can go to Canada or Mexico and still have data, hypothetically. Yeah, another great day. It's about, is it 2 weeks since I got this thing? Have just made such amazing progress already, and the plans for this weekend, I'm going to install a monitor on the wall, so it doesn't have to sit on my desk anymore. I'm gonna install like a lap, some lap drawer for my keyboard and mouse, and I'm thinking about a roof rack, which is going to be sort of a full day installation project, which will hold the solar panels. I'll probably attach some security cameras to it, and maybe some storage. So that's a really useful general improvement that I can make. And I'm also thinking, depending on what I come to, like if I come to a conclusion tonight, I will get a battery system, which is by far the biggest purchase that I'm going to make for this van for the improvements. It'll cost $2,000 or so, maybe a little bit more. I might. It's expandable, so I can add solar panels for about $100 a pop. So the other day, my battery died. It seems that actually it's fully charged right now, and it went from full to half in the time that it took me to set up this shot. So there's something wrong with my camera battery that I have to fix. Also, last night I forgot to charge my battery, which means that I have no power unless I'm plugged in. So I'm going to be staying at Mizpa's place, charging the battery and also working. So it definitely seemed more imperative to get a real battery set up and some solar panels to get something that's a bit more stable. Last night I was looking up what that would cost and what that would entail, and it is a lot. Just putting the roof rack on my Transit, it's going to be like $1,000, $1,400, depending on what quality and style that I'm looking for. I could just stick the solar panels to the roof, which I'm sort of inclined to do, but then they're not really movable, customizable. If I want to add a fan at some point, that's not really possible. So that limits what I can do if I just stick them to the ceiling, the roof. But it's way cheaper. The other bit is just the cost of all of the other components. So each battery is going to be anywhere from $300 to $1,000 depending on what kind I get. And there's just so many decisions to make. Like, I really just want somebody else to be an expert at this, and I can pay them to make it work for a few $1,000s, but I know I'm just gonna have to buckle down and do it. And I was even considering getting larger versions of this portable battery and having solar panels that I just set up ad hoc. Like, once I start working, I'll set them up in the sun, That way I don't have to be like, one problematic piece is that if I want consistent power, then the van has to be in the sun. The van has to be in the sun, which is not great for heat, you know, in the van. So anyways, all these considerations aside, I'm looking forward to another productive work day right now. Basically reserving nights for thinking about the van, and daytime I'm trying to get full work days in. Really trying to use this to its full effectiveness.
So I'm here now Friday again, which is, you know, how things work. Time keeps moving forward. And today I went to start the van to move, and it didn't start up. So I had apparently left the lights on. And you know, there's a long sort of thing where somebody came out to start the van and used one of those battery jump starters, and it wasn't working, and the lights weren't turning on. And we sort of made up all of these excuses as to what was going on, and was saying there was something worse than the fabric, this battery pack does everything. Like, it's the best. So anyways, eventually his boss came to tow me, because I asked him to come back again to the table, look it up to his truck, instead of just the battery source, and he said that wasn't going to help anything. It could definitely change that. So anyways, his boss came to tow me. I told him about the problem, and he hooked it up to his truck, and it just worked. So that was a huge relief. And I know nothing's wrong with this van, or at least I'm pretty sure, given I bought it from like a place that sells work vans. And the idea is that you don't have to worry that much about this, that you would keep this in good condition, and a lot of what you're paying a little bit extra for is the extra services. So I was pretty confident that there was nothing wrong with the van, and it was a little bit gratifying, I have to say, to be correct. But anyways, I learned a little bit, and my van's running again, so I'm going to drive around in the rain for quite a while. Let's go running. The guy told me to run it for an hour.